Good morning, everyone. My name is Christian from Two-Headed Wolf Gaming, and welcome back to Path of Exile. Today we continue the journey north. We have three quests. We have the Clover one where we have to defeat Aberrath for Bastel. Then we have to go further north, like when there is one of these signs surrounding the map, means that the quest is in that region. Anything else, like if there was this mark in the other map, then we would know that that's where we need to go. If it's like this, where you see the line light up, but this is not surrounded by a crown, it just means that we have to go north, but we have to go even further in to
Can't see why I'd want to do that
to reach
here.
the quest. So for the moment, let's go defeat Aberrath somewhere around here. We have our auras, well, except for I guess I didn't take any more the golem, but that is fine. So if you don't know why I'm not seeing uh, like as many items as I did before, as you can see, like there's this one, and you haven't looked in on the past episodes, I am now using a loot filter, which you can find online and download, and it's pretty easy. You just pick one, copy it into your documents where Path of Exile resides, and then you load it through your options menu. So it's pretty easy. I hope you had no big problems with it. If you do, then you can you can even use YouTube, right? Look how to load or install a loot filter. I'm sure there are people who have been playing Path of Exile for way longer than I have, who already explained it better than I have. It's something that I know I learned it from someone else as well.
An adversary slain briefly lives on in the lessons taught to the slayer.
I'm not up to that just yet.
I think I didn't know the first time, like the first time I loaded up a loot filter, I didn't really get how to do it, and I think I looked it up as well. It took me a while to realize how complicated it might
What
be
are you
or
doing?
not.
God drag you to damnation if you're gonna stand by and let this happen to me. To us. Because believe me.
Anyway,
My mana is gone.
to give you a bit of an update on my state of health, I'm doing pretty well. I'm almost out of the woods, as they say. Valley of the Fire Drinker. Maybe it's here that... Yeah, I think it's here that we have to find this one. Yeah, I'm almost out of the woods. Not perfect, but still... It's definitely... my voice is definitely better. So I'm back to recording. I took a day off just to sit and relax and just take some time for my own. Oh, rats. So yeah, hopefully in a day or two I'll be totally fine. Like yesterday I spent a whole lot of time like just listening to... I played, I think most of the day I played Path of Exile, and I have a melee character, as I said before, and I'm really trying to push it towards the end game. I managed to get a few more achievements for this league, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, my flasks are out. Let's try to get some of these enemies out. Come on. Ah, so close, so close. I really want to get that bleeding stack, 'cause it seems like on bosses we have two major problems right now. One
At last your thirst is quenched.
One is defense and one is damage. So
Good souls.
let's see. Reduce fire damage taken when moving, unaffected by burning ground. Okay. So I listened to a bunch of documentaries about history, and it was about things like nationalism and socialism in Romania. Like, there was a certain period
up to
of
that just
time
yet.
in Romania that I didn't know too much about. Like, I don't know how I was thinking about it and how it came around this idea, but I woke up at some point and I was thinking like, I really have no idea how this, like, what were the events that led up. For example, I didn't know how Romania became communism. Like, I knew the big picture of how it happened. I didn't know exactly how certain people came into power, like how did they manage to get so much support from people and everybody else.
My
And
mana
so
is gone.
I had that idea in mind. I just googled it, and yeah, I found some old national, like the old videos and documentaries, and it was quite a fun experience. Like, I just rested, I played Path of Exile and listened to them, and then I just went to bed and I kept looking for a few more hours until I had to go to sleep. Yeah, pretty relaxing, pretty interesting day for me. Okay, so we have a few magic monsters here. So I see another recipe there. Attributes level 3. Okay. So what if I do now? I am thinking, if I go home, let's take the
Can't see why I'd
reward,
want to do that here.
which is a passive skill point. And let's see, where are we at? Well, we are getting very close to the bleed, right? Yes. Let's try this out. Let's see if I can. Do you... Or no, you don't have a bow.
Welcome.
Maybe you have a 5-link bow. What would be the chances for a 5-gem bow? No.
Farewell.
Can't see why I'd want to do that here.
You know what? I'm almost thinking. 2053. Yeah, that's going to be better. Should I throw this in place? 299, 396. And if I use some of these, like 73 life, lightning resistance, Definitely better. Just gonna use some of these. Like, it's not gonna be as good in evasion as the other item, but I think that's going to be fine. I'm almost thinking that probably during the next episode we'll go for contracts. We're going to try to finish some of these.
Can't see why I'd want to do that here.
Let
Navali,
me tell you.
give me a few more
Cowardly
prophecies.
foes lay in wait. A
You
show
will
of
be
force
ambushed by
reveals
several
them.
enemies upon slaying a foe. Okay, totally fine by me. We can throw this. Let's see. Let's try to change this around. I want to try something else. So here is, we have an average of 3,700 damage, right? We gain a bit of bleed here at 265 and 397. But what if I change this around? What is this? It's 200, 2300 with less bleeding damage. So it's definitely not as good without the critical strike. Well, at least now we know we definitely need the critical strikes.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Might be pretty difficult to scale up bleeding with a bow. I am thinking about it now, but we're gonna try things out. This
My mana
playthrough,
is gone.
it's about trying. And as I said, we might fail terribly at some point. There's not a whole lot of thought being put behind this character. But let's see how successful we're going to be. And whenever we're going to struggle, we're gonna try to see if we can make it work in any way, shape.
A show of force reveals their true
Any way,
intent.
shape or form. I repeated that saying 100 times, so maybe I'll not. I stop myself there. But we will try to fix it. We will try to see if we can maybe improve some defenses. Maybe we'll do a bit of farming for better gear, maybe for better weapons, better modifiers. We're gonna try to put some stuff together to see how far we can get the character. And at some point when it's not working anymore, then we'll try something new. We'll move on to the next level of the campaign, where we're gonna try a build. We're gonna try to use to find a build online, and we're gonna put it to work, and we're gonna try to make that build work. And in the final stage, the third playthrough as I imagine it to be, I'm not sure exactly if I'm not 100% sure that that's the order in which things will happen. But in the third playthrough, we will focus on creating our own build, which should be even more interesting. But that's going to be more interesting after we use someone else's build, and we're gonna explain. I'm gonna explain in detail, like what is the thinking behind it, why does it work, how to pick a build, especially if you're playing yourself for the first time. And if you understand the basics of trying a build out made by other people, then you are going to find yourself in a place where you will understand the game, and pretty soon you'll be able to try things out yourself. Like, it really depends on what you enjoy, what your playstyle is. I can't really say here we have to take care of these speeding monsters, these nests first of all, and then we
I'm
get
not up to that just yet.
to fight the main boss of this area. And There she is.
My mana is gone.
Problem with this enemy is that there's a lot of poison. Okay, that's good. We managed to defeat it. Ivory bow.
Release this land to the will of its true children. Goodbye.
Okay, let's see. Life Flask gains free charges every 3 seconds if you haven't used a Life Flask recently. Interesting ability. Not one that I would be interested in using. I prefer the damage reduction there. Okay, so I see there are moments here where we definitely lose on the entire mana pool that we have. And I'm not totally sure why. Maybe we have some sort of potion that takes some of the healing, like maybe the healing potion? Let's see. We'll see afterwards. Let's follow this abyssal creature. Okay, level ups on the skills. We have a few. We're very close to leveling up ourselves. Hey. Ah, darn it. I should really be starting to look for defenses. Because we've died a
I'm
few
not up to
times
that
now.
just yet.
Maybe we should even change it from evasion to evasion and something else. Maybe armor could be a good idea, or maybe we could go for intelligence. Very unfortunate, but I think we just lost the abyssal. Oh no, we managed to get it before we died. Okay, we level up there. Let's see. Removes 10% of life recovered from mana when used. So yeah, it does remove some of our mana. Let's see, what's in the Abyssal Trove? Searching Eye Jewel. So now we can look for more bleeding. Let's try to make this happen. Let's see how far we can push that type of damage. As soon as we get a 5-link weapon, we should be in a pretty good position. This is close to being better, but not enough. 7 to 14 fire damage to attacks and 84 armor. So if we are to look at our character, we have 100 intelligence and we have 247 dexterity and we have only 57 strength. Now, if we're gonna look at our passives, we are going to get some extra strength here, because we were going for bleed, right? And there is a bleed one here. There's a bleed modifier here. And there's this one with inflict bleeding on an enemy up to 8 times. 50 less damage with bleeding. Stacking it 8 times might be good, and we can have this as well. Well, what shall we do? I guess we can look for that. Look for strength. Yeah, we'll try that out. We'll look for some armor that has like this. Right? Evasion and strength. We'll decrease some of our evasion. Like we have 40% estimated chance to evade attacks is 60%, 40% dodge attacks, 30% dodge spells. Let's see, what about these skills? What do these do? Like 30 chance to dodge attack hits, 50 less armor, 50 less energy shield, 50 less chance to block spells and damage, and then we gain these, which helps us dodge spells. So not perfect by if we use these. We might take off acrobatics if we're going to add armor. So we'll have to
I'm not
think
up to that just yet.
about it. But I think that's the way we should be going into. Oops. Only problems I see right now is the links. Other than that, at least we have a plan for the future. The way I'm thinking right now is if we evade the attacks and if it's only at 60% on average, it's not great. Like, there's much more we can do to improve it, definitely. But it's not great. Anyway. Not in our hideout. Let's go to Lionel's Watch to turn this quest in.
Can't see why I'd want to do that here.
Stay sharp out there.
Another passive skill, that is great. We can continue adding some points in here.
Welcome.
Let's take a look at the weapons and armors that we have. Once again, a lot of 4 links. Like, we can throw the 4 links on the hat. So we can go for evasion and energy. More evasion, like using this armor for example. Armor and evasion requires 53 strength, and we had what? 57. That is not super great. We will need more strength. But let us give it a go. So we'll buy this armor, even though it's not the best one right now. And as we find more better linked weapons, armors mostly, then we will change some of the things around. Reduced elemental damage definitely sounds better. I will keep this one.
Stay sharp out there.
Let's throw the skills in here. And then add that.
Welcome.
This is how it looks. I'll not sell it just yet. I'll throw it here. Mostly to have the ability to go back to it in case we don't really like the new setup. So I'll do it like that. Let's throw the contracts in as well, or
Can't see
as
why
many
I'd
as
want
we
to do
can.
that here.
We might even go back to the hideout to... Or I think we cannot. No, we cannot throw those around. So we're looking for the Brine King now. Let's see, what does this mean for us in defense? There's a 14% physical damage reduction and there's a 56 chance to evade attacks. Okay, we still have
I'm not
a
up to
pretty
that
good,
just
like
yet.
that. There's a 4% decrease in the evasion, in our chance to evade. But at the same time, we have a bit of a reduction into the damage that we do take. Also, we don't have our resistances capped, but pretty soon we might be able to get some better gear. I also, in the next episode, what we'll do is that we'll spend a whole lot of time in heist, trying to do a few contracts, trying to get a bunch of weapons and armors that are better quality. Maybe it's going to help us create this character with bleeding, evading and everything else. And armor.
My mana
Okay.
is gone.
This enemy is pretty tough, pretty unique. But we managed to take care of the situation pretty okay. So as you can see, even though we die a few times, do not feel discouraged. It doesn't really matter. It does matter when you're playing hardcore, and you definitely need a bit more knowledge there to make sure you don't die in your first hits, but you learn. If you see yourself dying or taking a whole lot of damage, then try to fix whatever seems to be the problem. If you're trying to, going for a bleed, there is a way to refund some points. So it's okay to try things out that might not work in the end. Generally speaking, you can probably make a pretty good build out of every idea you have. Some might require very specific pieces of gear or weapons or unique weapons maybe that are harder to find, and those generally might require more investment both in time and resources and probably get more involved into trading, but you might make that happen. And if it's not something, a build that is very popular where everybody wants to try it, you might even get what you're looking for pretty cheap in the trading system. And it's totally fine to play something that only you might be interested in. As far as I'm concerned, that is totally okay. Plus
I'm not up to that just
with
yet.
this style of gaming, it does develop in a sense your problem solving skills, right? If you start learning how to look at numbers and you understand the mechanics and you're putting pieces together, like trying to find solutions, like even if it doesn't come overnight, because generally these solutions don't come overnight. You might be spending a few days just angrily trying to figure out, like, why doesn't it work if it works in theory. And
My
one
mana
day
is
just
gone.
changing one skill or getting a good idea and trying it out might be all the necessary piece, the only necessary piece that you were looking for, and you'll find satisfaction in succeeding in, or at least progressing into the problem that you are trying to solve. So don't be discouraged by failure, don't be discouraged by deaths. Keep going forward, keep trying to farm away, to try to find your solutions. Look online if it still does not make sense, if that is okay with you. And you will find a lot of help out there from many people who have been playing Path of Exile for a very long time. Okay, another one bites the dust there. Another level up in vicious projectiles. Superior Tigerwood. Contract Mansion, okay. Another level up here. Oh yeah, so what happens there, because I just tried, like, I don't have any more life, but this heals up 2700 life over 8 seconds. And it removes 10% of life recovered from mana when used. 10% of this is 200 and, well, almost 270, right? I have 291 mana. Whenever I use the life flask with this modifier right here, it just drops. So yeah, that's not great. Let's see, what will this do to our skill? That's a 4100 there, and I do have this bleeding, which is awesome.
I'm not up to that just yet.
The Brand King. His time has almost come. Then hope will be...
Well, it crashed at the end. It's fine to crash at the end, I guess. Anyway, this is it for this particular episode. I am looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one as we continue our journey through Path of Exile. For the moment, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.